What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We've got another rod arsenal video for you guys. Something that I don't throw a whole heck of a lot of. That's why you don't see it a whole heck of a lot, and I don't talk about it a whole lot. We're gonna go over the Carolina rig today. Let's roll that intro and check it out. All right, guys, so the Carolina rig, I don't like throwing it. I don't enjoy throwing it, but by gosh, it gets bit, doesn't it? So I've gone through a lot of different Carolina rig intricacies over the years. For one, the bait, and for two, the rod. I was always the type that I thought I needed to have this long 7.6, 7.8 rod, and it needed to be like at minimum a heavy. You know, like I needed something that I could pull that thing and really set the hook on. And in the past years, I've learned that that's not the case. I had a really good friend of mine, Eddie, take me out onto Douglas, and we threw Carolina rigs all day, and he taught me so much about a Carolina rig. Eddie is a very old school angler, and he taught me a lot about the old school techniques. And the Carolina rig is one of them. So I made a complete 180 change on everything that I did with the Carolina rig. So what I am now doing is a 7-foot medium heavy fast. Here it is. This is the Gen 2 Mach 2. You guys probably know this is one of my all-time favorite Mach rods. I love the way this rod feels in my hand. I love everything about this combo. It was without a doubt one of my just all-time favorite combos that they've ever made, and I still love to use it. I just don't like throwing a Carolina rig on it. But this is the rod that I chose because it's reliable. It does exactly what I need it to do, and I knew that it was going to, you know, get the job done. My camera, I don't know why it keeps moving around weird. So 7-foot medium heavy fast. We've got wind grips down here. You guys know I'm a sucker for wind grips. I love that. And we've got the special contact grip down here. I can't remember what this is called, but there's no, you don't screw it from the top, you screw it from the bottom, and it feels so good in my hands. So that's why I went with this, because I needed something that was gonna be really comfortable and really allow me to feel everything as I'm dragging that Carolina rig, because it is a very slow, methodical bait. Like, you don't have much of a choice. You have to be slow and methodical with it. So I wanted something that I could feel everything. It was sensitive, and I have confidence in. So this is what I went with. And I lied to you guys. It's not a 7-foot, it's a 7'2". I'm glad I looked at that. 7.2 medium heavy fast. So let's talk about the reel. This is the Gen 2 Mach 2 SLP reel. 10 bearing system, 20 pounds of drag, 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, internal braking, all that jazz, wind knob grips. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's everything about the reel. I said 20 pounds of drag, right? Yeah. So that's the reel. Very, very nice reel. Comfortable in my hand when I palm it. All about comfort for me. I was trying to say comfortability, but that's not right. All about comfort for me. So let's talk line. Now, this is something else that I had to learn the hard way, and I believe it was Eddie, yet again, that taught me this. You don't need heavy line. So I used to run 40-pound braid to a 17-pound fluorocarbon leader. And he was like, why are you doing that? I was like, I don't know, I need hook setting power. He's like, nah, don't do that, go down. So now I run 17-pound main line, just because that's what I run 17-pound on I probably run 17-pound line on 25 of my 35 bait casters. Like, I just like 17-pound line. Like, that's just what I like. So 17-pound main line. and then to my weight, and I will go over the weight here in just a second, and then I go down to a 12-pound leader. And it's, you know, it varies based on water clarity and such, but it's not an overly long leader. That's about 2 feet. Not an overly long leader, but it's 12 pound. And the reason for that is, number one, if you get snagged or whatever, it'll break the 12 instead of the 17, and you'll be able to get your weight back. I care more about the weight than I do the hook and the bait. So you're able to get the weight back in theory. And then the lighter line is going to kind of give that bait a little bit more lifelike action to it. So let's real quick address the bait real quick, because there are some misinformation out there that these baits on a Carolina rig float. So a lot of people think that the bait's coming through the water like this, the weight's dragging and the bait's back here floating in the air, and it's not. That's not how the Carolina rig works. Now, depending on the way that you fish it, you can get it up off the bottom and it fall back down on its own. If you're popping the rig up, yeah, sure, it'll pop up and flutter back down on its own, but this does not float. The bait doesn't float behind it. So as the weight is getting drugged through the water, it's dragging this bait through the water as well. And by dragging it through there, it's hitting off a rock and everything. And it's just giving it a very natural look because it's a soft plastic. So it just looks very natural with that weight so much further up. It's essentially just a weightless, you know how a weightless stick worm, how we fish that. It's essentially just the same thing. So let's talk about the weight. Now, this is something that Angler Tungsten and I have been working on, that I made this at my house. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. This is a pre-rig. This is what I fish, guys. If I'm in a tournament, I'll go to a true Carolina rig, but any other time I'm running a pre-rig. It's just easier for me. I can snag them out real easily. I just grab a hold of it and go. This is what I run. So it's a metal wire. You've got red glass bead to, this is, I believe, a half. No, that's a 3/4 tungsten barrel weight from Angler Tungsten. Another bead, wire, and then you've got your swivel. This is a 25-pound swivel. I believe it might only be 20. I can't remember. 20 or 25-pound swivel to your line. And that is the weight that I run. Super, super sensitive. I just like pre-rigs. I've always been that way. And I guarantee you the first comment on here you're going to see is, you're missing bites by using that pre-rig. Yeah, okay, maybe, whatever. Hook. Now, this is a spear point hook. You guys know that you can see the bend in it. Yeah, it's rusty. My boat got washed and I didn't open everything up, so some of my hooks got rusted in there. I got to change them out before I go fishing again. But I use a spear point hook. And this is the Mock Crawl, relatively new bait. I'll use crawls most of the time. I will throw a fluke on the back of there, something like a baby Z2 from Strike King. And I will also throw like the Mock Ribbon Tail on there from time to time. It just depends on what those fish are honing in on as to what bait I'm going to use. Now, let's talk where we're gonna fish it. The big place I like to fish these on Cherokee, my home lake. I love to fish the ditches for these. So I'll go in and I'll find a creek channel, and there's always a ditch going down the middle of a creek channel. I'll instantly look there and usually find my fish there, and they love a Carolina rig right there. So that's where I enjoy fishing them and where I get the most bites from. Guys, if y'all like these videos, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know, guys, what do you all want to see rod arsenal wise? What other baits am I missing? I got a couple more that I've got in the back of my mind I need to just film. So I appreciate you guys watching. Take care, everybody.